Hello everyone, welcome back to the Gay Life Abroad series, and today's video is going to be about Germany. And like I said in the previous video, this is based upon my own personal experiences, and your experiences may be different. But this is to do with my experiences and people who I've spoken to. And I would say Germany would represent, for me, a lot of continental Europe. So like I said in my first video about the UK is far more diverse and multicultural than any other European country that I know of. And when I lived in Germany for over a year, I experienced a lot of discrimination and racism and fetishization. So let's talk about where I lived. I lived in Berlin in Germany, which is the capital. And though a very cheap and livable and beautiful, artistic, fun, creative city, the LGBT scene is very, very intense and very sexualized, fetishized, very open and free, which can be great if you're into that kind of stuff. And also it has abundance of gay people, gay clubs, bars, saunas, sex venues, if that's what you're into. So there's everything there for everybody, I would say. There's a creative scene, there's a spiritual scene. So if you're into that kind of lifestyle, holistic, I am sure and certain that there's stuff for you. It's a very friendly city. It's very child friendly, so if you want to settle down, have children, it's a very balanced lifestyle for the hours you work, so that's really fantastic. Lots of greenery, lots of free open spaces to enjoy the nature. So those are all the wonderful things about Germany. And of course, legally you're allowed to have gay marriage, and there's rights for all LGBT people. Politically you're supported, you can get legal support, police will help you. And if you need any services from community services, LGBT centres, they're all there. However, a lot of them are in German, of course, because it's Germany. So it is good to learn German, a few phrases at first. They do speak English, especially the younger people. However, it is good to know the customs and the way they are. So don't be afraid if you feel like you're being stared at. You're not being stared at only because you are different or interesting or beautiful. They stare at everybody, and that's the way they interact and communicate. Especially in Berlin, where I lived, it's more of a silent, quiet, peaceful, beautiful city where people speak less and they speak deeply. They're very profound, that I found, very analytical, very philosophical, very worldwidely and wise. You can grow a lot there, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and express your creativity and sexuality. So those are the things that are there. However, diversity-wise, the main people there obviously are white German, and then you do have Turkish. A few Arabs, but mainly Turkish. And the Turkish obviously are quite light-skinned. Some of them can look a little bit German perhaps, some of them are mixed, but generally there's a Turkish community, smaller, and they're obviously from a Muslim background, some of them, secular, strict, so you have that. And I did find that German men were more likely to date or meet someone like me of a minority, especially because they hadn't met many Indians who were gay. Whereas in the UK, I find because we are so much in number, the white British people think they know us and who we are and that we're all the same, so they avoid us. Whereas in Germany, we were an interesting delicacy, fetishized. So there was the good point in the fact that there was no judgment surrounding what Indians are. However, there was a pre-notion that I was some sort of snake charming desert child who had come to Germany to, be economically better. Yeah. Anytime they would ask This is a very common thing. They'll ask you where you're from, and if you say you're from England, they'll say no. Even if you're born in England, you have a British passport and citizenship. If you're an American, no. They are not interested in that, because as far as they're concerned, citizenship or nationality depends upon your bloodline and your colour and your race. So therefore, only white people come from Britain. Anyone else is not British. They call them Auslanders or foreigners. So the same thing in Germany. So you are only German if you are white and ancestrally from that land. Your ancestors are from Germany. Otherwise, if you have any pigmentation or you were not born there, or even if you were born there and you don't have the same ancestry, then you are a foreigner and you will never be seen as a citizen. So therefore, they have very different notions of nationality and citizenship compared to the US, Canada and the UK, where if you're born there, you are that national, or if your parents are from there, you're that national. So in that sense, I've experienced fetishization, like a, you can say a caged animal or something, or a zoo rat. But I was getting attention, I guess. So in that sense, Germany is, for me, it was quite a difficult experience of facing myself. So if you're someone who has insecurities, someone who doesn't like to be stared at, someone who doesn't like to be fetishized, well, who does, but someone who doesn't like to be examined and cross-examined and analysed and psychoanalyzed at a dinner table, at a drinks bar, whatever, then Germany or Berlin is not for you. But if you're someone who is okay with that and is interested or wants to grow or has already grown, then it can work for you. Fantastic. I know people who go on holiday for a weekend or two in Berlin think it's fantastic. Of course, holidaying and living in a place is completely two different things. So, yes, life in Germany for LGBT people can be fantastic in the sense that you have the political and legal support network and the community and the NGOs. However, if you are someone who is not of German descent and not white, then you can experience a lot of racism and discrimination and fetishization. So otherwise, let's talk about economy. So German economy is one of the best in Europe. You can find a job. If you speak German, then of course you have a lot more avenues available. But if you don't, then you can work in any English-speaking school systems as a teacher. It's very easy. You don't even need a teaching qualification. They can give you jobs in nursery and primary schools. That's great, and you get paid really good money. It's a good lifestyle. They're very much into organic and they call it biological organic food, and lifestyle, very much into healthy eating and fitness. Food is good. It's very high quality. The Germans don't waste money on advertisements or packaging. It's all about substance and inside things. They are less likely to go towards contactless payments and modernization because they're very cautious about what's gone on, especially with their history. They're very much stuck in sort of a trauma zone, which they're healing from, with World War II and Hitler. All around the city in Berlin, for example, there are these square golden discs which show whoever basically died at that building, who was taken as a Jew or a homosexual or disabled person. So they've been told a lot since they were a young age about what their ancestors did or Germany did or whatever did or kept quiet about. So there's a lot of trauma there that needs healing, which is a fantastic opportunity for spiritualism. And there's a lot of yoga, a lot of meditation, a lot of alternative acupuncture, loads of wonderful things going on there actually. And they don't just go and do whatever people say and like, you know, obviously in America, in the UK, it's all about like the newest phone, the newest iPad, the newest technology, contactless, just go, 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 go. Whereas Germans are more reflective, from my opinion, and they will be cautious. like people were getting iPhones much later than they did in the UK, and they're less likely to just do things for the sake of it. They're more cautious, less likely to take risks perhaps. If you date a German person, they might be very, very particular about things about like cooking, about using the water, shower, because they're very much into recycling and very much into taking care of the planet, which is a good thing. So I think once you've assimilated to those sort of things, or at the end of the day, I think it's all about us. So if when I moved to Germany in Berlin, if I'm honest with you, I was 21, I had lots of insecurities, lots of issues, still working on stuff, but had much more then. And so what I was seeing at that time was everything that I needed to work on and what I had to heal. I know other people who have lived in Berlin in Germany and they had fantastic experiences. Indeed, I know people who have had wonderful experiences, and I have really good German friends who are basically ethnic minority, if I'm honest with you. One of them, Magnus Rosengarten, I've made a YouTube video, a live with, so you can have a look at that. We talk about race and mental health and being LGBT. So in that sense, work on yourself and heal your traumas, and then you can go anywhere in the world, like for example Germany, and you can experience the life you want. It's all about being true to you and healing. So I'm not going to actually, that experience I had was a reflection of my own inner self. And now when I do go back to visit, and I love it. I actually love Berlin. It's such a fantastic, wonderful place, Germany. I find that the people are so progressive in their thinking, and there's so much wisdom and so much learning. And for me, it was a city where I had to confront a lot of my issues, and I wouldn't hesitate to move or to live there actually, especially now that I have the tools that I have. But compared to the UK, in the UK I find people are more talkative. They don't talk too much like I would expect Americans do. However, they're more balanced. Whereas in Germany, they're less likely to talk, and they're more reflective. So that was my little roundup. This is my experience of gay life in Germany. Like I said, there's lots of clubs and bars, there's lots of stuff out there all the time. It's sometimes more sexualized as opposed to intrinsic, but there you go. Please like and subscribe and share. Thank you very much.